there's going to be a full limb script. Pasha. Pasha's breaking stuff. Say hello. Hello, Pash. Okay. Stop breaking stuff, Pash. Okay, so this is going to be my full limb script. And this script will have a list of a few things. It should have a list of parts. And they're going to be game objects. Okay, and this will be attached to a, let's see if I have to an empty game object. And each one of the limbs inside will be parented to the game object. So we can have like, this would be, let's say, a shoulder. Oh, what did I do? Okay, so this is from an older design for an Android app I made. Pasha, get out of here. This can be a mesh. So this object is going to come there's also going to be, I guess, the name of the limb. Therefore, the name of this thing will be the same. It's going to name it that. this is going to be a list of game objects, and also okay, so the thing that's going to link these, this is not ready yet. Not ready yet. Okay, it's going to be attached to that. Now I'm going to have my little factory. Let's put these guys aside. I'm going to have a limb factory. I could probably do without. Yeah, why complicate my existence here when I can just have a character factory that's going to just get all that stuff. Yeah. Yeah. How about that? Character factory is going to do a couple of things. Let's see. Needs to have a skeleton, right? Can I rotate these bad boys? So that's stupid. Who was on my phone? 339. Sorry, I don't know you. actually call them arm up. Let's just go to hand and forget the fingers. So we have here we have chest. Ah. That's a better way to organize. Actually, this guy needs to be a little bigger. This is spine. This is hip, although and then I have a if I want to make a document, might as well get everything the way it should be. And might as well do the whole thing then. Okay, fine. Try to cut corners, and then I'm gonna get all confused after. Okay. this thing. And I'm just going to go and do the legs, and that's pretty much it. Just leg and main bone. Leg up L. And there is a main bone. I think it's main bone. Alright, so now I need some dashed lines for what's parented to what. Then we have, I think, yeah, there's a space here, so that's pretty much the setup. Plup and plup. Arm up first, sorry. Arm up, arm low, hand, fingers. Actually, I'm just gonna, I bet we do them like that so that we gain some. Okay. Before going any further, oh, sorry, the attachment is here. Okay, so there's main bone, and then there's armature. And let me see. I think that when Unity takes the armature, I think there's enemy character. Okay, so we have the enemy character, blah. Good. And this is basically one of these guys. It's like an empty game object. Okay, so first of all, when the game starts, I'm gonna have a list of freaking everything that's in list of everything from resources. That's the first thing I'm gonna have, and out of this, I'm going to be. So there are a few things that need to happen. Let's see. Let's see. We're gonna do like. First, it's going to instantiate one of these enemy character. So somehow I need to have a reference to enemy character. And then I'm going to instantiate it. Basically just the armature. Then ooh, I got an idea. Okay, actually the armature guy is gonna have a few other things attached to it. So we're gonna have my right arm, my full right arm, my full arm R. And those will be parented to this. Let's see if this makes sense. I wonder if I should have one major one. Yeah, I should. It's going to be a child of this. This is going to have two children. And then each one of these will be a descendant from that. Da, 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 da. So basically, this is going to know the status of all the limbs. So basically, when I click on the character, I'm going to get directed to this, and it's going to give me status on everything. That's pretty much this thing here. So let's just do it for that one. So each one of these is going to have this script attached to them. I haven't even talked about each limb here needs to know about the bone that it's on too. And the link for parenting to the bone needs to be done within the script of a limb. Yep. It's going to be single limb script. And it's going to have to know I don't really have to. I don't really have to, no. Because since I have a list here, I can go through all of them and say detach parent. Okay, so forget it. We don't even need a script on that one. but we're going to need a, oops, a script for this guy, and this is going to have all the stats. It's going to be a collection of stats. Do. No. There should be like arm up. Oh, limb name is, yeah. And also stat. Like health. Limb health. 100. And maybe like a limb stat. Like special power. We're gonna deal with that later, actually. Okay, now still building. So we have this. This needs to be the structure. Okay, so I think this can be done in like one function or two. Like build limb. And we're going to pass it this guy. So a transform. Whoops. Yeah, since I have enemy character, I can get reference to this. And I can say okay, I need a function that's going to say depending on the name of that, you know, do a certain thing. So probably gonna need like fetch meshes for full limb name, and I'm gonna pass it let's say like if it's this. So like if let's say that, then we go to the list and we get hmm, hmm. Blah, then get random LOR and fill this list. Yeah. Basically, if the last letter. Yeah. Okay, so here after this, so we're gonna do for each, and once we're done with that. Basically, we'll still have a skeleton with each one of these would have its own plup. And now we're gonna have a stitch. Stitch limb to the bone, basically, and same thing. We're going to pass it this. And basically, I need to make a function that says for each limb here. Basically, if you recognize the name, you gotta find the bone on the body and stick that in there. Yeah, it looks pretty simple. I think that's pretty much done. List, like do a find bone, attach to bone, parent to bone. And then we're just going to at some point. No, that's not good. Because I would have to. When do I instantiate? This is where I instantiate. Instantiate that bone, stick it onto the limb. This is my instantiate for the yeah, stitch limb and instantiate. Yeah, so for each limb in the list, instantiate limb so it appears somewhere in the world. Not only do I need to instantiate it, but I need to keep a reference to it. And that is going to be kept. This is going to have two lists. A list of parts and a list of instantiated parts. These are the real parts that are in the real world attached to the bones of the player, and I have a reference. I need to have a reference to them. Why don't we just gonna have two lists, and then I'll see if I can use one list, like delete these guys and put the instantiated ones in, reference to the instantiated ones in. Do find bone, attach bone, parent bone, and then add mesh 2. I think that should do. Let's review again. So on start, this character factory is going to do get a list of all the limbs, okay, from resources. It's gonna have a reference to this, or maybe get it from resources, instantiate it. Now we have like this guy in the world, and then we're gonna say build limb for each one of the limbs, for each one of these guys in here. Get ref to this guy, and then for each my full limb, in my limbs, we're going to build limbs. So basically, we're going to build this list. I'm just going to call it my full so I know what I'm talking about. My full blah. So now it's going to put random limbs from that list, figuring out left and right, and stick them in here. And then we're gonna say stitch. That should do. That this should be the yeah. Basically, I'm just building 2 scripts. Wow, this has been reduced a lot from like the 5 other scripts that I've written. Let's see if it works in the next video. We'll be coding this shit up. Alrighty then.